What's up, guys? Coming to you for the next part in our Road to Fatherhood series. I'm actually sitting in the nursery right now in front of the baby crib for baby Soren, and I want to share one of the most important aspects of life, of parenting, of ministry that anybody could ever grasp or take hold of. And that is this: that in a few months, Soren will sleep in this crib. But for the next 10, 20, 30, 50 years, everything that happens in her life begins here at home. If it's this house, it's this house. If it's 10 houses, it's 10 houses. But I'm not talking about an edifice. I'm talking about home, the place where we reside as a family, that all ministry in life begins here at home. Whether she faces hardship, whether she faces abundance, whether she faces whatever the trials and tribulations that she faces throughout her life, how will she relate to and know Christ? Will my life and Amber's life, and will our relationship show her and reveal to her that we are on this cosmic journey that is all driving us forward towards Christ? I grew up in a home that my mom had one face out in public and at church, but at home we encountered a different aspect of that. And I know that many people, from the stories that I've had the opportunity and the honor to sit down and listen to through the last however many years, that so many others deal with that same exact thing. And my desire and my goal is that Soren encounters the same dad in her home as she sees at church, in the grocery store, at school, wherever we are, that she knows that I'm the same here, the same there, wherever we go. That every action of my life is now pertaining to the ministry of ministering to her. And now, almost 14 years ago, I knew that ministry was the same for our marriage, for the marriage between Amber and I, that my life was always to point her to a deeper relationship with Christ. And now, as we not only just turn this page, but begin a whole new chapter of life. All ministry that happens, any presentation of the word, any representation of Christ, any sort of charitable work, any sort of good deed in public has to be matched foundationally at home. Because the words that I speak to her, the actions that I do before her, and how I relate to her mentally, emotionally, and spiritually, all begin here in our home. So parents, I want to ask you, is your ministry beginning at home? Are you showing your children two different faces? If you want them to understand the immensity and the eternality and the limitless love and grace of God, it begins at home. It begins with how you show them Christ at home. It's one thing to go to church or to go to the grocery store, to school, or to some fundraiser, or to some outreach event, and to put on a good face and to put on a big smile and to pretend in public. But when you get home, not even your words, but more your actions. Do they line up with your words? Are you showing your children the love and grace of God? Are you showing them every facet of the diamond of who Christ is? And so that's my contemplation and my next point of exploration as a journey down this road to fatherhood, that I have to internalize that and begin even now to live that out, that every bit of ministry begins here in our home, begins here in this place, with the way I treat her mother, the way that I speak to her, the way that I make time for her and play with her and have fun and joke, and even the way I discipline her will all be dependent on, am I showing her Christ in every action, in every interaction, in every reaction to situations and scenarios that we're going to come across over the next however many years. And all of this comes back to one of the previous videos on teleological fatherhood, that it's beginning now with the end in mind. Where do I want her to be at 18, at 20, at 30, at 50? What kind of person do I want her to be? And all of that ministry towards that end begins here. And I can't wait for, let me rephrase that. I can wait, because I know it's going to be crazy when she gets here. But I'm so excited. I'm ready for her to get here, to fill this crib, and to spend sleepless nights sitting here waiting for her to fall asleep. But even in those moments, it's ministry toward the end of who Christ is making her to be. So parents, take that, run with that. And remember, it doesn't matter what outreach program you're a part of. It doesn't matter how much money you give to charitable organizations. It doesn't matter how much of the Bible you preach. It doesn't matter how kind you are to people out in the world. If when you go home, your children see a completely different person, all ministry begins right here at home. All ministry begins behind the closed doors at your residence and your dwelling place. All right, guys, I love you. Be blessed. Let your ministry be at home so that it can flourish even greater out in the world. I love you. Have a great day. Bye-bye.